Hello, everyone. Welcome to the MSU Wealth Management Association podcast. I'm Justin Halverson, a senior finance major at Michigan State and the current president of MSU WMA.
Our guest today is Rob Forte. Rob is a manager with Plante Moran Financial Advisors. Got his MBA from Wayne State University and his bachelor's from Michigan State University. Rob also holds the Certified Financial Planner CFP designation and CPA Certified Public Accountant designation. Rob, thanks for being here.
Thanks a lot for having me, Justin.
Yeah, so you just start off a little bit telling us about yourself. Did you always want to go into a career as a financial planner, or how did you end up down that career path?
Certainly. Yeah. And, the simple answer is no. I didn't always want to be a financial planner or succinctly know that. I went to Michigan State, and when I got there, I knew I wanted to study business, but I really didn't have any concept of what field within business. So I was steered towards accounting and finance and was sort of undecided there for the first few years. And really was drawn to accounting just given the time that I had graduated from college with global financial crisis. Accounting seemed like a little bit more of a conservative play from a job market standpoint. The big four accounting firms and regional firms are very active at MSU. So I was drawn to that right out of the gate and really, had a good passion to learn accounting, the language of business, and build those foundational skills. But at the same time, I always had this passion for investments, this passion for personal finance, but I didn't really know what that meant. I knew I didn't really want to be a stockbroker, and I didn't realize that the form of wealth management that I now focus in existed. So really for me, the launching point was getting my CPA, getting involved in a firm like Plante Moran that does so many different things and really rewards people to do good work to chase their passion. So graduated from MSU, did my MBA at Wayne State, interned at Plante Moran on the accounting side in audit, started at Plante Moran full-time in audit, did that for 5 years, working with all different types of organizations and helping them with their financial statement reviews and audits. But that passion for financial planning never really went away, and was able to pivot my career into the wealth management practice at Plante Moran and really start focusing on helping individuals with their financial plans and pursuing a CFP. So it's one of those things that just sort of evolved over time from original passions that I had back when I started.
That's awesome. I know a very similar path. I think a lot of kids nowadays, as much as they don't want to admit it, same thing, right? Like you change so much when you're 18 to 25, honestly. That's a big stretch, but you never really know. So it's great to hear that you don't have to figure out exactly what you want to do and that it evolves in like a great way. So you were using these terms like wealth management. A lot of people call themselves financial advisors today. So do you mind giving us what your definition of financial planning and wealth management is?
Certainly. Yeah, you're right. The industry is very large. There's a lot of different ways to do it, a lot of different business models and titles. For us at Plante Moran Wealth Management, we're a registered investment advisor. We're an independent RIA. So that really is at the crux of what we're trying to do and the method that we're trying to use in serving clients. With most of our planners being CFPs, I think, at the center of all that is just the fiduciary role and making sure that, we're not tied to any sort of financial products. We're not selling financial products. In most cases, we don't have any Plante Moran products. We're on-call consultants for our clients. We're free from, conflicts of interest and really in a role to act as a fiduciary in the client's best interest and make recommendations and solutions that are customizable based on, the universe of investment products and resources that are available to us. So that's the way that we approach it. We think that puts us in the best position to keep the client's interest, first, and do so in a way that is very customizable to bring different solutions to different problems for different clients.
You've got your CPA, your MBA, and your CFP. How have those helped you serving your clients? Like, would you recommend a student who's thinking about a career as an advisor going that same route, or what would you recommend to a student? What kind of licenses would be helpful.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's a little bit different for everyone. Plant Moran is big on designations, education, continuing education, and being just a technical resource for our clients, because the world is ever evolving, and you can never stop learning to be as sharp as we can for our clients. So all three designations and my entire educational background has really helped me be a well-rounded professional. And I think that bodes very well, just given the way that we're serving our clients. There's so many different disciplines. When you talk about a personal CFO approach, it's not just investments. It's not just the portfolio. There's so many other things that need to be considered: taxes, risk mitigation, estate planning, making sure that you understand the big picture for each client situation, and have a well-rounded idea of how to get them to their goals. So each experience that I've had, each designation license that I carry, has helped me in that path. And I'm constantly trying to push the envelope on my technical skills and what I'm learning, just to make sure that I can continue to bring proactive thinking to each client, because there's so many different silos that you have to bring together under one umbrella to bring a holistic plan to your clients. And sometimes, it's the softer type skills, such as just emotional intelligence, and making sure that you can truly listen to what clients are saying, and put that into a workable plan. And sometimes that's far less technical than you would think, and far more psychological and emotional. So really just focusing on being a well-rounded professional has been the right approach for me.
So your time at MSU, when you were working through your accounting classes at Eli Broad, did you find that any of those classes stuck out that were really, really beneficial in the field? Were there any classes or organizations that you joined that have really helped you?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think three things come to mind in that regard for me. First and foremost, Accounting 201. That was very influential on my career path and my time at MSU. That was built up in my head as a big weed out class back in those days. You took it your sophomore year typically, and that was, a very big year in getting into the business college the following year. So making sure that I excelled in that class, and just started to see my passion for accounting, and then also just being pushed by Professor Bolkmeyer, to continue to pursue on that path, was very influential for me. The following year, my first finance class, Finance 311, that sticks out big time, just given that was the fall of 2008, right in the midst of the height of the financial crisis. And coming to class, having the professor, give us updates on that, and put it into layman's terms for a student was very important. And I understood, the ramifications of that, and how it might impact the world. And that really drove home some of my passions for investments and financial planning. And then thirdly was the co-ed business fraternity that I was a part of, Alpha Kappa Psi. The networking component of that, and the collaboration that we did as a team, really launched me within that skill set, and understanding how important it is to work in a team, work with people from different backgrounds, different skill sets, to accomplish a common goal. Very underrated skill in today's world, and especially in today's workplace. So relying on some of those experiences as I moved into internships, as I moved into a full-time career, was very impactful.
Do you think that, given everything that's going on in the world today, it seems like doom and gloom in the news, do you think that there's more opportunity, or do you think that there's good opportunities out there for young and financial advisors coming out of college? Is it a career that's someone should pursue?
Absolutely. I don't think, obviously we are in tough economic times, and there's a lot of challenges currently that we're facing as a society. But I think the career of financial planning remains a very sound path for students that have that passion. If you look at the industry as a whole, the baby boomer generation is aging. A lot of those advisors are retiring. So there's an incredible gap in the amount of advisors that are out there serving individuals. When you couple that with the amount of wealth transfer that will be happening as a result of the baby boomers aging, there's more and more clients that will need help in good holistic financial planning. So I still feel very good about the career path for young students and the potential for growth in the industry.
So if a student has decided that this is the career path for them, do you have any tips for them? What should they be focusing now? So maybe somebody who's a sophomore or junior, right at that internship phase.
I do. And obviously I think the internship is one of the most sought after paths to get exposure to the industry. So I'm very big on, getting that exposure, making sure that it's something you like. And you can sort of take the academia and mix that with the practical and understand if this is a career path you could really see yourself pursuing long term. So internships are a great way to do that, but you can get started so much earlier to do something like that. You don't have to wait till you're a sophomore and of internship capability. I would say if it's something you're interested in, the second you step foot on campus, you should be pursuing ways to gain experience in the field, whether that be, MSU investment team, the MSU finance club, relying on resources available to you in the career services center, getting in touch with people in the industry, having small conversations with them as they're made available to you through your networks. That is so important. Just getting that flavor for what it even means to be a financial planner and trying to gain some, real life experience that isn't an internship, because those are tough to come by and they're very competitive and it takes time to build up to that point. So there's a lot that you can be doing early on just to gain exposure and to continue to build the knowledge that you have so you can, have meaningful conversations with people in the industry and really articulate that passion.
In this virtual environment, I know it's really easy for people to hide behind their computers, but one thing I can say to your point is, it's amazing, even though we can't see each other in person, how willing people are to have a call like this, a conversation like this. There are podcasts out there. There are ways out there to connect. So yeah, to your point, Rob, it's so important because people are very open to those conversations. And, just like you were telling us earlier, you don't really know exactly what you want to do until you go out and do it, right? Like you can think that you're interested in X, Y, and Z, but if you're not actually out there doing the day-to-day, how do you actually know if it's something you'd want to do?
And I agree with you, Justin. I think I've found in this virtual environment, it's actually a bit easier to set up those types of conversations with people. Almost everyone is in the same boat in a lot of ways of being home a lot more than they normally would be, being in front of their computers a lot more than they normally would be, just because that's where the day-to-day is taking place. There's less travel, there's less moving around in between offices or in-person meetings. So people are more accessible and they're very willing to have those conversations. So students shouldn't be shy in pursuing that. In fact, I think most people are impressed with the, proactive nature of that.
Yeah, I found it to be incredibly positive in my life. So, it can be a little daunting if any students are listening, I know, but I mean, quite frankly, my attitude is the worst they can say is no, and you're in the same position that you were before. So what's wrong with that? So awesome, Rob, this has been great. So last here, I'll open up the floor to you. Is there anything you'd like to say to any students interested in wealth management? Anything we didn't cover today?
No, Justin, I think you did a really good job of driving the conversation. I'll sort of reiterate a point I've already made, but just keep your head up if you're a student pursuing the career right now. I know it may seem challenging in a lot of ways, just given what's going on. Certainly a wrinkle to what everyone considers normal. So there is a ton of opportunity in the career. If you're somebody that has that passion, getting involved early, leveraging your resources at your universities, leveraging your networks, having meaningful conversations will go a very long way. And, doing all that you can to continue to hone your skills and prepare yourself for an eventual career in that will still have a very impactful and meaningful result. So I think just maintaining a positive attitude and being adaptable and being flexible right now will have dividends down the road.
Awesome. Rob Forte, thank you so much.
Appreciate you having me on. Thanks.
If you like what you heard today, hit subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. The MSU Wealth Management Association is a student group at Michigan State aimed at training the next generation of financial advisors. For more information, check out our website, msuwma.com. See you guys next week.